Very welcome back to Final Resonance TV. Want to send out a special message today about something that's really cool, and that is that the George Lynch Van Halen Stories podcast episode has now passed 100,000 views. It's the largest view count on any interview I've ever done, and I want to thank you, the subscribers and the viewers of that video, for giving me the opportunity to even have George Lynch on. One of the things that's really important for any YouTube channel is to have a lot of subscribers and have a lot of views, obviously, to get the guests that you want to get. And, some of the success I had prior to George Lynch made that happen. So the most important thing I can ask you to do is subscribe and hit the like button and continue to support the channel and Van Halen Stories podcast so that I can continue to reach out to these great artists to talk about the great Eddie Van Halen. I've got two new guests coming up. I don't want to say who they are because it always jinxes me when I do that. But one of them was at the house with Eddie quite a bit and asked Eddie, quote, every question us fans ever wanted to know, including gear questions and all those things like that. And also, I have one of David Lee Roth's former players coming on. So that's in the future. I'm always looking. I have a list. But let me know what your list would be of people that you haven't seen on here that you'd like to see. And, of course, subscribing and watching the videos is the way that I can get to those people. And so if you'll just do that and like things, get these guys and get a chance to hear what they have to say about Eddie Van Halen and his impact. Because it's so huge. I mean, you just think about it. It's just a massive impact. Thank you for the opportunity that you've given me to have these conversations with all of our guitar heroes, George Lynch, Steve Stevens, Andy Timmons, and so many other great people in the Van Halen community. This was sort of a passion project that I never expected to even do, to be honest with you. But when I think when Eddie Van Halen passed, I thought nobody was going to actually fill in this history. And I had access to the people to help me do that and to have these conversations. And I figured, if I loved it, somebody else might love it too. And everybody loves Eddie Van Halen, right? So, I do this all for Eddie and Eddie's memory and to try to fill in the holes in the history of Van Halen, since that's something that they didn't really focus too much on. So check out all the videos on my channel. There's all kinds of stuff here, and as a musician myself, full-time, still to this day, I put out, some videos here online recently of my original music. And so if you take a look, that'd be awesome. Musical Journeys is still a thing. I'm going to do some interviews here and there when that makes sense to do, which was my original podcast series with a lot of people that were in the Van Halen orbit before I was doing Van Halen Stories. So you might want to check those out as well, because there is some Van Halen content in there. People like Joel Holkstra. I had Mark Weiss on, and I had, Steve Brown was great for the Van Halen content. So check that out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Rock on, y'all.